Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday, September 5th. And is this another clue that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are really struggling? We saw the Instagram. She was kind of erased from it, if she was ever really part of it. And now he's showing up solo without Blake. I think there's trouble in paradise. We have Denise Richards, who is making public appearances with Charlie Sheen. We have a lot to get into. I hope you're ready for it. Let's dive. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Happy Friday. Hey. It appears there's some trouble in paradise. Gonna preface this show by saying I don't have any notes. I don't have a script. I don't even have specific talking points that we will be discussing today. As you know, we celebrated my friend Jeff yesterday. So, it's been a little bit of a disorienting 24 hours. I was really, really strong, and I had not a single tear throughout the entire celebration. I was like holding it together. And then in the car ride home, I just, then it hit me. But yeah, that's life, right? Nobody makes it out alive. But it was nice to be with his family and to be with his friends, and it was really special. It was gorgeous. It was on the beach, with the waves just crashing and the sunset. It was in Laguna Beach, hosted by our friend Jen. You guys may know Dr. Jen Armstrong. She used to be on Real Housewives of Orange County. Yeah, it was really beautiful, and it was really special, and it was really nice. It was just, it's funny. I was so like, I promise we'll get into the news in a sec, and we have ads and all that stuff. Like it'll be a regular show, but I just, or at least as people are coming in, I'm gonna open it up with a little sappy moment. I was so like, what do you mean? Can I get you a drink? Can I do that? Like I was bringing in all the alcohol, so I got there early, and I'm glad I did because it was an OC, and getting to Laguna Beach from LA is like is chaos. And anybody that has come from LA to the OC knows, like, yeah, you need to leave before 4. And if not, you're gonna be stuck in like the worst and the craziest traffic. And a lot of people were coming from LA. So it was special that everybody was willing to sit in that crazy late afternoon traffic to come and celebrate Jeff. Like that's, there was effort that was made and they came. And so I got there early and, to help. And I was like helping to get things set up. And I was just like, this is good. I like this. Like, I need this. I need to feel a sense of control. My hands need to be moving and doing things, cleaning. Like, I was like, I need, like, my hands need to move and I need to do things in order to, I don't know, maybe feel in control or something. And then I was like really like nervous and shy at the beginning, and then everybody just like celebrated him in such a special way. And we did a champagne toast and a tequila shot toast, and it was nice. And he was remembered very fondly. And it was just nice to see how many people like not only knew him, but like how many people he left a lasting impression on. That was really sweet, and that I really loved. The 405 is wild in LA. um yeah, it was nice. Yes, guys, please hit the like and subscribe button. And it was funny because I had reached out to our editor for Disaster Daters. He does all of the Disaster Daters editing and will help with No Filter too. And his name is David Lindley. Because there's David, my manager. Everybody knows that David. But then there's Lindley, and Lindley is editor David. So there's Shahar, and then there's Lindley. But Lindley does editing, and I was just like, I texted him. I was like, can you put together like a montage of like some of Jeff's best moments? And I was like in like a wave of grief when I had texted and asked him to do that. And he was like, of course. He's like, I'll have it to you by Friday. And I was like, okay, well, in my head, I was like, well, but we're celebrating him on Thursday. Like, it would be nice to have it by Thursday. But yeah, Friday's fine. I mean, I didn't say that to him, but in my mind, that was kind of my thinking. I was like, I had a lot like to go through everything and to cut together a montage. And then he ended up sending it to me shortly after I had gotten there to Laguna Beach, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is perfect." Like the timing couldn't be more perfect. And it was special. So I'm gonna play that for you guys. Um we were supposed to are going to film season 3 of Disaster Daters next month. We were gonna pre-tape everything and air it in February for Valentine's Day. So there will be a 3rd season. It will be coming out on Valentine's Day 2026. We were gonna begin filming next month. But here is a best of montage from the first 2 seasons. So just wanted to share it with you guys. And yeah, I've been watching it on loop all morning, but I wanted, for those of you that did know him and want to remember him, or for those of you that didn't know him, this was just a little piece. Daters, I'm Zach Peter. What is your name?
I'm Jeff Epstein.
Which is your real name?
Lose the attitude. Thank you. What? Have you never been there?
No. I don't even know what that is.
Whatever. I could not be more of a disaster today.
Yeah, truly the biggest disaster. Me rolling. Okay.
They hating. We got Tay.
You're fine.
Yeah, you're right.
Just stop overthinking it, Scheana Shay.
I do feel a bit Scheana Shay sometimes.
The 4 worst daters, and then we coach them on how to be better daters.
Okay.
Lose weight and get a hair transplant.
Well, 100% veneers. That's a component.
No, because that has been people have thought that I was dating Jeffrey for a hot second.
And I was like, he's not a tall ginger. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, I was like, we've never.
It wouldn't work.
Well, that's your demographic. Gen Z is right up in there with you.
No, it's actually not.
I know that. That was a joke, Jeffrey. That was called sarcasm.
Gotcha. You know, I'll start because Zach is a mess this morning. Came in late, but welcome to Disaster
First of all,
Date.
I'm never late, and Danny said that too. She's like, I thought something was wrong with you because you're always the first one here. I was like, I know Jeff's the one that's always running in like a chaotic hot mess. A little neck biting, kissing, a little biting of the lip, you know.
I like biting, like strong biting.
Strong biting. Like ginger kids are usually not super cute, but they grow up to be attractive men.
It's true.
It is, so it's tough because I think actually back then, I think when I was a child, I was like, oh, these ginger kids near me, like, oh, and now I'm like, oh my god, like I love these people.
Make out king, Tom Schwartz.
Retired.
Why don't you make out anymore? I feel like that was your signature brand.
It's like the best thing ever, too. Also, what a great
Making
title.
out is so fun.
I met this guy after my show, and he was like,
type of show? Stand up?
"Oh no, I was doing a
Burlesque.
I was doing a musical."
Oh.
Oh, Darren.
Yeah, I was like obsessed with musical theater. I did a
Darren.
musical.
My partner needs to be clean. That's like a big thing. with
Why are
me.
you looking at me when you say that?
No, I'm because we're.
You're like, I'm talking to you.
So I guess my ideal first date would be. Oh God!
Say it.
What if we went to the Grove and had like the Italian spot by the fountain?
The fucking Grove. Until next time.
Until next time. All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Well, until
Until next time.
bye bye.
Whew. That ending is always just, been watching it all morning. So sweet. I mean, it's funny because I was like, oh no, I asked them to put together a montage from Disaster Daters. And if you guys watched Disaster Daters, you will know we put it all on the table. All the dirty, messy, wild times that we've had. I mean, we put it all on the table. And I was like, oh no, please. In my head, like again, I texted and I didn't really think and I didn't give instructions. I was just like, can we put a best of moments? And it was just like a fleeting thought that I had. And then I thought about it afterwards. I was like, oh my God, I hope we don't put together I hope it's not all like his slutty moments and like the dirty sex talk. I was like, oh, and thank God, I mean, Lindley did such a perfect job with that to focus on like the good, happy moments. And the ending was just like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not. I didn't mean to cry. Um, it was so nice to see how many people loved him yesterday. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to cry, guys. I was doing so good. I was holding it together. It's like, I fucking got this. Um, he was just such a good person. He was so flawed, but so good. Like his heart was so good. And I know a lot of people have been asking, like, "Oh, can we raise money in his honor?" Yes. We'll do something. I was supposed to launch a charity merch campaign this week, and obviously, I was like, "We're not launching anything this week." It's like we're pushing everything back a week. But we'll. I have a. We did a. Jed Wallace said, "Love me some Zach Peters." So we did a "Love me some Zach Peters" shirt that I was going to launch this week, and I was either thinking of doing another donation to the No More Foundation or to the Home Life Community for Autism, DV and Autism. Those are the two charities that we raised money for before. And this time I was thinking, we should do something for mental health or for homeless, because I mean anybody that knew Jeff knew how much like he cared for the homeless so much. He would, anytime it was hot out, he would raise money and then go to the market and buy, you know so much water, and like, he wanted to make sure he would buy water and food, and if it was ever cold out, he would collect coats and blankets, and he wanted to make sure the homeless had something to stay warm. He was always, thinking of other people, um or for the homeless, not toothless. That's funny. Yes, yes. So we'll do some. Well, I'll pick a charity, and we will do the merch campaign and donate to that charity, and that'll launch next week. So as of Monday of next week, I'll make sure everything's ready. But as of Monday of next week, all proceeds I'll make sure are donated in Jeff's honor. And I'll figure out what charity we're gonna end up going with. But, yeah, that said, yeah, mental health would be great. I suffer from depression. Yeah, it's not easy. He's truly a star above now. He is. Whew. Sorry, I didn't mean to cry. Just felt like I had to hold it together in front of his family. It's like you can't break down in front of them. Like, no, that's you have to hold it together in front of them. Like how, you know. Um, yeah. Well, we will find a way to honor him with the new season of Disaster. I mean, I don't even know what's going to happen with Disaster Daters, but I just know we start filming again in October. Yeah. Tears are cleaning the soul. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Grief is a reflection of all the love we've left behind. Yes. It's been hard, but also nice to come on the show. It's funny, even on the whole way over, I was like trying to distract myself. So I was literally fighting with Donna yesterday about Real Housewives of Orange County. Um, And even this morning, Donna and I were talking, we are going back and forth because now, like, there's like this theory with Scheana Shay, and like Scheana was involved in the big conspiracy against Katie and Ginella. And I'm like, okay, come on, like, this is getting crazy. And so Donna and I were going back and forth about it. And I was like, this is actually kind of helpful. We weren't like legit fighting, but we were having housewife fight, the housewife fights that you have with your friends, right? It's like superficial and dumb, but it's. Oh, Tiffany says, why are the people with the biggest hearts followed by the biggest demons? It's so sad. I think it's like comedians, right? I think it's because they are so hurt and they have so much pain and they know what that pain is like. So they want to do everything they can so that nobody else has to feel that pain. If they can I mean, I feel like that's why I give people so much grace. I always give people another chance again and again and again. And people get mad at me and they're like, you need to set boundaries. You need to set boundaries. Protect yourself from toxic people. And I'm just like, no, no. We need more love. We need more compassion. We need more grace. And I understand sometimes there are circumstances that are beyond. And yes, boundaries are healthy and boundaries are important. Like I had a really good friend who I loved, and we were very close until recently. And since Jeff died, he has not reached out to me, and that's been really, really hurtful. And I know he didn't particularly care for Jeff and whatever, but I'm just like, really? Like, I get it. Jeff was flawed and people loved Jeff when they loved his chaos when it was funny, but it was, there were other parts of him that I know were challenging because we all have those challenging parts, but that was part of Jeff that he wasn't afraid to hide. And I loved that about him. And I said this in my tribute to him the other day. It was bold and it was brave and it made me feel more bold and more brave. But I look at somebody like Jeff who would go out of his way and take care of the homeless and just be there for everybody in his life and was so kind and compassionate despite his demons and despite his flaws and despite his toxic traits, because we all have toxic traits, but some of us are just willing to own them and show them, you know? And so I'm just like, what? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It was disappointing that he didn't reach out to me, hasn't reached out to me. And I get it. He's bothered by, I don't know. He feels like I wasn't really there for him enough when I was on tour. And I was like, I was on fucking tour. Don't I get like an ounce of grace? Like, I wasn't trying to be a bad friend. I was just caught up in my own world. I wasn't like intentionally ignoring you or trying to be a bad friend. I was literally just caught up in a moment. And I was like, well, whatever. And when Jeff died, I was hoping he would reach out and he didn't. And again, I know he didn't particularly care for Jeff, but I thought he at least cared for me. Whatever. People really show you who they are in times like this. Just tell you that. People show their colors in these moments. No, Cassie. Andy has not reached out. I have not heard from him. He decided to leave the Pop Report. I went on tour. He was hurt that he didn't hear from me. He has not reached out. That's been heartbreaking. I didn't just lose one friend this past weekend. But listen, people show you who they are. I'll just tell you that. All right. Keep sharing Disaster Daters. Keep sharing Jeff's podcast and his memes and all of that. Keep sharing it and keep spreading it far and wide, because that's how he should be remembered. That's how he should be remembered. He was a good person. He was a flawed person, but he owned his flaws. And he was a really good man. And they loved him very much. And if he didn't know that enough then I hope he knows it now. All right. We're going to cut. I'm going to pull myself together. We're going to run some ads. And then we'll get into the tea, the news, the stuff. All right. Let's run some ads. First up, we have Seed. All right, raise your hand if you've struggled with bloating or if you have issues in the bathroom. Don't worry, we've all been there, done that. Am I right? Bloating, especially during the summer when we want to be feeling and looking our best, bloating can really put a damper on many of life's moments, which is why I'm so excited that I found Seed's DS-01 Symbiotic. It's formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strains to support whole body benefits, including gut health, skin health, heart health, immune health, gut barrier integrity, gut microbial balance, and micronutrient synthesis with just 2 capsules per day. Super easy. DS-01 is formulated with strains that are clinically validated to reduce abdominal bloating and intermittent constipation after 2 weeks. I feel so much better. It's super easy to take, and I feel like I can get through my day with a bit more of ease. So, if you want to get an early start on maybe some of those New Year resolutions that you started last year that you promised yourself you were going to do in the new year, get started right now. Feel better right now. Get ahead of the new year with a routine that helps you now by going to seed.com/nofilter and use code NOFILTER25 to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off of Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/nofilter with code NOFILTER25. All right, listen, when you think of game day, you might not think Wayfair, but you should, because Wayfair is the best kept secret for incredible and affordable game day finds. Anything you need, they've got you covered at an affordable price. You can just go online, get all your game day essentials. They have a huge selection. They have different curated collections. They can fit your budget or your price point. They can find things that are unique, that are tailored to your liking, to your style. I'm talking about everything from coolers, grills, folding chairs, TV stands, coffee tables, entertainment centers, barware, serveware, entertainment cookware, everything you can need, even sports themed decor. You can find that on Wayfair too. Bet you didn't know that, but now you do. Okay, there's something for every style and every home, no matter your space or your budget. Wayfair makes it easy to tackle your home good goals with room ideas and curated collections. It's free. They have easy delivery, even on the big stuff. They have all your must-haves, from furniture, decor, appliances, cookware, all in one convenient place. Wayfair is your trusted destination for all things game day, from coolers and grills to recliners and slow cookers. Shop, save, and score right now at wayfair.com. That's Wayfair, wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Struggling to switch off at night? That's okay, because Soul's out of office gummies help me relax, quiet my thoughts, and fall asleep naturally. Just the right balance of CBD and THC to ease me into a restful night's sleep. So if you're struggling to sleep, I highly recommend you give Soul a try. Soul's a wellness brand that believes feeling good should be fun and easy. Soul specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation. With 5 different strains, you can tailor the dose to fit your vibe, from a gentle microdose to their newest 15 milligram gummy for a more elated experience. Bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Soul today. Right now, Soul is offering my audience, that's you, 30% off your entire order. Go to Get Soul, that's GETSOUL, getsoul.com, and use code NOFILTER. That's getsoul.com, promo code NOFILTER for 30% off. Alrighty, nothing like, so everyone's like, nothing like bathroom issues to equalize the conversation. Yeah. But yeah, those are today's sponsors: Seed, Wayfair, Soul CBD. Go and check them out. Links in the description below. Okay, let's talk about. Should we talk about Ryan Reynolds? Let's talk about Ryan Reynolds. Let's focus on something Jeff hated, and that was Blake Lively. He used to work for Blake Lively. I mean, I get one. What's the what's what consequences will come from speaking about it now? It's not like Blake can get him. Jeff is untouchable now. Knowing that bitch, she'll try. She'll subpoena heaven. She'll be like, "Hey God, I need to talk to Jeff. Needs to be deposed." But no, he did work for her, and he hated her very much. So when I say I've had a strong disdain for Blake Lively for a while, it was because of the stories that I heard from Jeff about what a terrible person she was. So yeah, I definitely believe she is an awful person. But so Ryan Reynolds, he showed up on his first red carpet without her. You know, they've been like, we're besties, we're together, we're in this together, we're all in this together. Well, he went to the Toronto Film Festival. This was yesterday, Thursday. Yeah. He went to the Toronto Film Festival. It was the premiere of John Candy, I Like Me. And he was there. He was there with Colin Hanks, but he was not there with Blake Lively. His mom was there. His mom, Tammy, joined him. So he had people around him. He had people that he loved, which is interesting. Very interesting. I think that there's definitely something brewing behind the scenes. I think it's pretty obvious. There's no way that they're not struggling in their marriage right now. He didn't wish her a happy birthday, and now he's not posing with her publicly. I think he's realizing that maybe she's a liar, and I think he is deciding to no longer stand by her. I mean, why else would you not? Unless she's like, I want to be private. I don't want to be out there, which I doubt, because she's been very public. She's been very open. But not only that, but the birthday tributes. Like, so many people posted tributes to her on her birthday. Ryan Reynolds did not. That's kind of crazy. So it's not like she doesn't want birthday tributes to be made, but like, I don't know. Let's hope he is realizing that she's batshit crazy. I think he's realizing she lied. I think he's realizing as they're going through the evidence, as they're trying to find evidence to use against Baldoni, and they're going through the discovery process and all of that, I think Ryan's really coming to the reality. Listen, I think he did believe his wife. And my theory rings true then, and it's true now, that I think he believed that Baldoni was this creep because Blake told him that. I think he picked up on some vibes from them, and I think Happy Chrissy says she thinks Ryan Reynolds is behind all of it because Blake's not that smart. No, no, no. Well, this is Chrissy. This is what I'm saying. I think that he picked up on vibes from Baldoni and Blake, and he was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is not okay. And she's like, no, I don't like him. He likes me. He's being so gross to me. He's coming on to me. He called me sexy. He smelled me and told me I smelled nice. I think she told him all of these stories, which made him irate. Um, and Batshot Zizzy says, wow, really, Zach? I'm listening. What are you listening to? But so I think that's exactly what happened. She fed him this story. He believed her. I think Ryan Reynolds went nuclear. I think Ryan Reynolds is like, we're going to go all the way. We're going to bury this guy. We're going to end it because my wife says that she was harassed by him. So we're going to take this all the way. I'm going to go scorched earth on Baldoni, which is why we see Ryan Reynolds flip out on Baldoni about the fat shaming. Like, I truly believe Ryan believed what Blake was saying, and they decided we're going to go all the way. And then they started digging into all the evidence. They started going through the footage. I think it absolutely turned. And I think now that they're going through everything, and now I'm sure the attorneys are even coming to them and they're just like, listen, I think the attorneys are trying to have some really real conversations with Blake and Ryan and be like, my God, this doesn't look good. This is not good. This is bad, but they're too deep into it. They have to, at this point, go all the way, I think. And I think the more evidence comes out, not publicly, but comes out in discovery, I think the more Ryan's like, oh my God, like he's becoming more and more upset with Blake. Because, like, think about it. She lied to him. If this is really what happens, right? This is all conjecture. But yeah. Chrissy says, I could see that too now that you dived deeper. Yeah, I think he genuinely was like, I mean, think about it. What husband wouldn't go nuclear if their wife was telling them all this stuff? I don't think Blake is smart enough to trick Ryan. I think on some level that could be true, but I also believe the DEF plan was to take over the movie and the franchise. I think that's part of it. I think that could be one of the motivations, but I don't think they decided to. I think there were other ways that they could have gone about that without the harassment. I think she probably wanted the movie to begin with, but I definitely think that she, or I wouldn't say manipulated Ryan, but I think it was probably something very fleeting, right? I think it was very like a comment of like, I'm not even into him. He's into me. Oh my God. And then that's when, the snowball started to build. I think he knew it, and now he wants it out of order, not to ruin his reputation and career. I think he's seen that part of it too. It's ruining his reputation. It's tarnishing his image. It's potentially going to block future deals for him. So I think, do you still think the theory that Blake had feelings for Justin stands true? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he knew the theory that Blake had. I think he knew it, and now he wants. Yep, now he wants out of it. I don't know. People have been saying he's also toxic on set with his co-stars. 1000%. Either way, there's definitely the way Ryan Reynolds is going to spin it now. Yeah. Yeah. You get him how you lose him. Yep. Yep. That's how she got Ryan Reynolds, and that's how he got Blake. And here we are. Hello. You get him how you lose him is very, very true. But what he did in Deadpool was still all on him. Yeah. But I think part of the motivation was because he thought that Baldoni was a creep. I think he believed that. Yeah. Husbands know when their wives talk lies. Maybe. But also, why would you think that your wife is lying about something like that? I don't think she wanted this legal battle. I think she did not wanna do this because she knew that the truth would come out, and if they did. And I think Ryan's the one that spearheaded and wanted this big legal battle with Baldoni to prove and to shut him up and to shut him down and to be like, "We're the big Hollywood bullies," but can we have a members only so you can spill the tea on Blake and Jeff, or is that too much? I don't know if there's much to spill. Yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot to spill that Jeff hasn't already spilled. Um, he dated Blake's brother. Like that's I think that was out there. Yeah. Jeff and Eric were a thing. So yeah. Jeff and Eric were a thing. Jeff worked for Blake. Yeah. I mean, Jeff was always afraid that Leslie Sloan would come after him, but like can't come after him now. He's one place Leslie Sloan can't reach. So, you know. Heather said everyone can accidentally believe what they want to. Accidentally? I'm not accidentally believing something. I think they both low-key had believed Justin was into her even without evidence. Yeah, I'm sure they did think that Justin was probably in. I don't know, maybe. Oh, AH3 said, I do not agree with Zack. I think that they were both trying to get the sequel and overtake It Ends With Us. They are powerful and thought that they could win on this matter. I think they're both evil. I agree. I never said that Ryan wasn't evil too. Is Blake's brother hot? He's a cutie. She got caught catching feelings, got mad because Justin did not want her. Yeah, because remember that was part of her original complaint was that he said that he wasn't even into her or something. He wasn't even attracted to her or something. And like that stuck with her. That stuck with her. She planted the seeds and Ryan spiraled. Yeah. I don't know if it was deliberate on her end or what, but do you think people will still hire her after all of this or is she untouchable? I think she's pretty untouchable. I think she's pretty untouchable. Well, from her past, I can see how he would believe her. Yeah. How many of Blake's entrepreneurial endeavors are ever succeeded? I don't know of one of her entrepreneurial I don't yeah. Yes, Russ. Yes. I don't know how real that marriage is, but I don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't know these people. I don't know. You know, if anybody you're gonna have to subpoena the dead in order to get those answers. But I'm not. That was in her original complaint. I missed it amongst the craziness in the case. Yeah, it was with the dancing montage. I believe she was like, he smelled me and said that I smelled good. And then, when I brought it up, he said something like, I'm not even attracted to you. I think it was in that whole spiel. Her marriage was a successful entrepreneurial endeavor. It was until it's not, and it doesn't seem like it is. So we shall see what happens with them. Okay, what else has been going on? Denise and Charlie Sheen stepped out on the red carpet together. I liked this. This is really sweet. Did we talk about Rebel Wilson using Jed Wallace, Melissa Nathan, and Brian Friedman? Oh, did she? That's the connection. I saw something about Rebel and Blake. Yeah, is an alleged smear campaign against Blake Lively tied to Rebel Wilson's legal battle over the Deb? Were the alleged smear campaigns against Blake Lively and against producers of Rebel Wilson's directorial debut, The Deb, intertwined? Lawyers for the latter say yes, according to a cross complaint filed Thursday in the Los Angeles Superior Court that names a defendant familiar to those following Lively's legal battle against Justin Baldoni's crisis publicist, Melissa Nathan. What a terrible time to be a crisis manager, right? A publicist that handles like a crisis PR firm, right? So, according to the new filing, the Pitch Perfect star expressed interest in one of those sites in an apparent reference to a series of anonymous websites that appeared a month later, targeting the Deb producer Amanda Ghost last summer with grotesque ties, or grotesque lies. Last year, and fellow producers Gregor Cameron and Vince Holden sued Wilson for defamation over a series of social media posts in which Wilson accused them of inappropriate behavior towards the lead actress of the film and embezzling funds in the film's budget. This was a new article in Variety. And so now I guess, let's see. In Thursday's filing, they go a step further to point the hidden PR apparatus between Wilson's alleged smear campaign against Ghost, citing text messages written by Melissa Nathan that was recently unearthed as part of the sprawling Lively Baldoni litigation. So basically, this is a quote. So basically, Rebel wants a one race. So basically, Rebel wants a one of those sites should be a mixture of that document that I think Carolina pulled about Amanda Ghost, or the intern pulled. It can be really, really harsh Russian oligarchs and making her a madam, basically, LOL. Melissa Nathan wrote in August 2024 to another publicist at Tag PR, the same firm at the center of Lively's claims that she was the victim of an untraceable smear campaign. The messaging is included in Thursday's filing. Later that month, anonymously written sites like AmandaGhost.com and AmandaGhostSucks.com popped up, claiming that Ghost was the Indian Ghislaine Maxwell and the madam for one of the world's richest men. Behind the scenes, Wilson used paid PR professionals to launch a shockingly low and radically charged attack on another professional woman, all to get her own way in a business dispute and destroy the reputations of a woman who dared to stand up against her, the complaint referenced. Ghost, who is represented by Shepard Mullen partner Camille Vasquez, seeks compensatory and punitive damages, alleging that Wilson crossed every possible line in her bid to claim a writing credit on the Australian set musical that premiered last year at the Toronto Film Festival but remains without a distributor. Interesting. Who's represented by Shepard Mullen partner Camille Vasquez. Camille Vasquez was Johnny Depp's lawyer, right? Wasn't Camille, that was, right? Camille Vasquez, attorney, yeah. Yeah, yeah. She was the Amber Heard trial attorney. She represented Johnny Depp. Interesting. All the players continue to be connected. Let's see. The increasing use of the disturbing PR tactics in Hollywood and elsewhere function like a cancer in our society, Vasquez said in a statement. They manipulate the public, destroy reputations, and have taken real and palatable tolls on their victims. It's time to shine a light on these trolls hiding behind their keyboards and hold them accountable for the damage they cause. Nathan declined comment. The 21-page complaint paints Wilson as a faux feminist who weaponized her platform to destroy the reputations of her business partners who they refused to acquiesce to her demands. But it's the link to the Lively Baldoni case that will likely raise eyebrows. Lively has claimed that Tag masterminded a smear campaign against her the same month that the mysterious and disparaging websites about Ghost first surfaced. Separately but related, Baldoni's former publicist Stephanie Jones is suing Baldoni, Nathan, and former publicist Jennifer Abel for trashing her reputation. According to her own legal filings, Jones was disparaged via the anonymous website StephanieJonesLeaks.com. And that's a terrible name, Stephanie Jones Leaks. That sounds like she has like a leaky vagina. And it made a declaration in June that she was unable to identify the true identity of the individuals who created the defamatory website. But that would appear to be at odds with the docket. According to separate exhibits, web hosting company Hostinger International Ltd. responded to a Jones subpoena 5 months prior to her declaration that shows StephanieJonesLeaks.com was created by Courtney Engel, a former employee of Jones who doesn't appear to have any professional connection to Nathan or Tag. Still, Vasquez, who previously worked with Nathan when she represented Johnny Depp in the courtroom battle with Amber Heard case, looks to draw the line between the campaign Wilson allegedly carried out against Ghost and the Lively Baldoni case. Miss Wilson is informed and believes that therein alleges that a person named Jed was involved in coordinating and directing the publication of defamatory materials via the websites in collusion with Melissa Nathan and her staff and with Rebel. That would be a reference to Jed Wallace, another key figure in the Lively case. The Texas-based social media guru worked with Tag to bolster Baldoni's image last summer when the media and influencers began to write about a mysterious rift between the director and Lively on the set of It Ends With Us. Lively is suing and being sued by Wallace for defamation. So here's what okay. Based off of the information we have, right? This is just what we have in this moment. Okay. Based off this info, it sounds like Rebel Wilson ran a smear campaign and used Jed Wallace and Melissa Nathan. What's Jed Wallace got to do with this again? Jed Wallace is the social media manager. So when it comes to astroturfing, like flooding comments, boosting engagement, tracking and monitoring things on social media, that's part of Jed Wallace's role. He's a contractor that gets hired by Tag. Melissa Nathan is the actual publicist. So she's kind of the mastermind putting together the plan. Excuse me. I stand by my initial position of saying I don't believe Baldoni ran a smear campaign against Blake Lively. I think that was the internet that did the internet's thing. And we have text messages that show that Baldoni wanted to amplify and highlight survivors. It was a crisis PR team, but I think he used it in the non-traditional way based off of the evidence that we have. We this is where, and I hate saying this about Melissa Nathan, and obviously, you know, this is nothing personal towards Jed Wallace, but I do think that there are these contingency plans that they put together where they could potentially smear somebody. I don't believe that was the case with Blake Lively, though. I think that they can do these things, astroturfing, boosting negative posts, planting fake Reddit theories. Like that's within the realm of possibility that that's possibly within their job description, for a lack of a better term, is to be able to do these things. Like they're capable of doing them, and I'm sure they have clients that are willing to pay them to do these things. It kind of sounds like Rebel Wilson may have been one of those people that wanted this out there, only because I think this ghost, what's her name? Amanda Ghost. Nobody knows who she is. Nobody's heard of her, right? She's not a well-known name. Amanda Ghost is her name. Yeah. She's not a well-known person. So for these websites to be popping up with these theories or whatever, that to me feels like that was a deliberate move, and it could have potentially been spearheaded by Rebel Wilson. And if she hired Melissa Nathan and Jed Wallace to do these things, then yeah, I think that that's within the realm of possibility based off of the services that they can provide, right? Are they unsavory? Sure, but it's also part of crisis PR to protect their client. Now, I don't like smear campaign tactics, but it is possible. And these things do happen, right? So I think with Jeff, sorry, I didn't mean to say Jeff. I think with Baldoni, I don't think he wanted those tactics. I think he, wanted them to have other potential connections. And Blake Lively probably planted this story. Probably. Agree, Zach. Regardless of what others did, there's not one piece of proof that Justin himself said that he wanted to do a smear campaign against Blake or that he wanted to do it in retaliation, right? Those are the two key things here. I think that's what Blake is leaning on, is that Tag PR is capable of these things. And because they're capable of these things, they're trying to make it seem like that's what Baldoni did. I don't believe that's what Baldoni did. Despite them being capable of doing those things, I don't think they actually did those things. Amy Shepard says, I believe both can be true. Just because Melissa Nathan and Jed Wallace may have done it regarding this case does not mean they did it for the Baldoni case. I agree, Amy, and that's where I stand. It seems like it's a little more possible that they may have done this at the hand of Rebel Wilson, but I don't believe they did this at the hand of Justin Baldoni. We'll have to wait as more evidence in the Rebel Wilson case comes to light. We'll see. But yeah, that was a fun story to talk about. But yeah, well, we shall see. I know Denise Richards is getting ready for her big court battle next week, but it was nice to see her on the red carpet supporting Charlie Sheen. This was really nice. Okay. Boom. I think they're here for the premiere of his documentary for Netflix. What is it? AKA Charlie Sheen. AKA Charlie Sheen. And there's Denise, and they pose together. I think it's helpful to see her and Charlie in a good place, considering everything she's going through with Aaron Vipers, her current husband, her current estranged husband. They were married. Wow, they were only married for 4 years, but they felt like such a big, like, power couple, Denise and Charlie. So it's nice to see her out here supporting him. I think that that's really sweet to see their relationship and how their co-parenting relationship has continued to unfold. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Anything else? We talked about Denise. We talked about Ryan. We talked about Rebel. I think that's kind of it, right? Oh, the smear campaign. And I brought this up. Ugh. Okay, don't get mad at me. But we're gonna get a little controversial. But the reason I was so savvy to smear campaigns, and this also kind of relates to like Katie Ginella and her hiring a crisis PR team, and like crisis PR and these types of publicists are so layered. Yeah. Tell us your thoughts on Scheana entering the Kiki mess. Yeah. So I think that this is possibly another plant from Katie Ginella's crisis PR team that she's hired, because that's part of their job, right? We've learned about smear campaigns, and we've learned about what, the roles of somebody like Melissa Nathan, like what they have, the roles that what they can do. And part of that is to plant theories and to plant seeds to cast doubt or to sway the direction, the public perception in a different direction. And so I think this Scheana Shay piece is another layer to it, because I was trying to understand the Scheana of it all. And basically all I've really been able to conclude is that Scheana is good friends with Gretchen Rossi from Real Housewives of Orange County, Scheana from Vanderpump Rules. And Kiki Monique, she is a radio show on Sirius XM. She has a really popular Instagram account and TikTok called Talk Shame, and very well known. And listen, Kiki and I have had our differences, and we've been at odds, right? We've had our differences, we've had our disagreements, we haven't always gotten along. But I will say, in all of this, despite my past with Kiki, I believe Kiki. I believe her. I think it was a little messy for her to share the information that she got from Katie, but I don't think she intended for the information to get out the way that it ultimately did. And let's be honest, the reason it got out is because Tamra Judge decided to bring it up on camera. I don't believe Kiki got this information from Scheana, right? Because, okay, so now we know all the players, they've been outed, they've been talked about. So what it appears happened is that Gretchen and Jen, with their husbands, went out to Mastro's with Katie, Ginella, and her husband, Matt. And it appears that something was said about this night on Real Houses of Orange County, like 17 years ago, right? Long time ago, there was the naked wasted night where Tamra and Vicky said that they wanted to get Gretchen drunk, right? They wanted to see, the loosey goosey side of her, and they wanted that. And Gretchen said that she was so sick that night. And here we are, fast forward 17 years, and it appears that she may have relayed some variation of events that happened that night at Naked Wasted night. And it seems like Katie left that conversation with this theory or this story or this narrative that Tamra had potentially, given Gretchen something that made her sick, and then she went to the hospital and they tested her and they found out that she may have had something in her system beyond just alcohol. And I think Katie relayed this information to Kiki. I don't think Katie did it maliciously, and I don't think Kiki met with Katie maliciously. I think they genuinely just had a lunch and had a Kiki. She had a Kiki with Kiki, had like a lunch, and they were going and they were talking, and I think it was a totally innocuous lunch, and they were just having a good time, chilling, vibing, telling stories, right? Kiki, for whatever reason, decided to share these details with Jacques, who's a friend of mine, but he's also a reporter at the Daily Mail, and with Dave Quinn, who's a reporter at People. Now, the fact that she shared this information with a reporter does seem a little messy, or with two reporters rather, because then I can see how that looks like, well, she was trying to get it to be a story, right? But she has said that those conversations were off the record conversations, and Dave Quinn nor Jacques, People, nor Daily Mail, neither publication ran a story about this. But it does appear, because Tamara said that both Dave and Jacques, Tamara revealed this on Jeff Lewis Live, revealed that both Dave and Jacques brought this information to Tamara to say, hey, just so you know, this story is going around, like just giving you a heads up. So Tamara got the heads up, and then Tamara decided to bring this information on the show. I think it was a deliberate move from Tamara to make Gretchen look bad. I think Tamara has tunnel vision. She wants to, destroy Gretchen by any means possible. It's obvious. And listen, Tamara's a tough cookie to go up against, right? That's what makes her such an incredible housewife and such great reality TV. Now, that said, then it got twisted, and it found out that the story originated from Katie Ginella. Now, I don't think anybody had any nefarious intentions. I don't think Gretchen and Slade wanted this to get out there publicly, because if they did, they've had 17 years to put this story out there. But I do think they were probably having a conversation with Katie and relating to Tamara, and they were just like, like sharing battle stories, right? War stories from, their experiences with Tamara. I think that's likely what happened. I don't think that this was a deliberate takedown of Katie. I don't believe all these crazy conspiracies. And now Scheana's looped into it, because Scheana, wrap it around, they're now saying, I think Face Reality is showing that Scheana and Gretchen are good friends, which they are. Okay, cool, got it. They're friends. And so I think that my understanding is this theory is that Gretchen probably told Scheana about Naked Wasted and told her the same story that she allegedly told Katie. And Sheena's the one that told that information to Kiki, because Kiki is a regular co-host on Sheena's podcast, Shenanigans. And Gretchen has been on Sheena's podcast, Shenanigans. So I think the implication is that Gretchen told Scheana and Scheana told Kiki. And that's where Kiki got the information. And Kiki gave the information to Dave and Jacques. But my thing is, it's like, well, if this was never published, right? It was never published on People. It was never published in the Daily Mail. If this was never published, then why would Kiki lie and say that she got the information from Katie if she really got the information from Scheana? Like, the Scheana piece of it makes zero sense to me. Zero sense to me. We did talk about Blake and Ryan. Somebody asked about Real Housewives of Orange County, so I'm talking about the latest theories. And so I'm just like, listen, there's this whole conspiracy theory that involves Scheana now, and Kiki, and Jacques, and Dave, and Tamara, and Emily, and Gina. Because remember, Emily and Gina set up Katie with the lie detector, and there's this fake lie detector company that was in on the scheme, and the producers were in on the scheme, and there's this conspiracy theory that all of these people plotted to go against Katie to make Katie look bad, when, let's be honest, is Katie really that significant on the show? Can you name her top 5 best moments on Real Housewives of Orange County? Not really. She's a fine housewife, but she doesn't even have a single memorable quote that people use often. She's not very memorable. Noella was a 1-season hit, and she was more memorable. Elizabeth Vargas, I think, was more memorable for being kind of quirky. That was a really bad season, but I don't think that Kiki got this information from Scheana. And again, Kiki and I have had our differences in the past. I'm choosing to believe Kiki because I believe she's being honest. And I don't think she has any motivation to lie about any of this. People are saying that she's thirsty. She can be thirsty if that's what you want to believe, that she did this just to be thirsty. But it doesn't make sense, because the way that the information got on the show was through Tamara. Tamara is the person that brought it up. Tamara is the one that said it on camera. Tamara is the one that opened it up. So, and Kiki has no connection to Tamara in this. It went from Tamara, we track it back to Jacques and Dave, track it back to Kiki, and track it back to Katie, and track it back to Gretchen. That, to me, that's too many, points of connection for it to be deliberate, If Kiki wanted to get on the show, she would have taken this information directly to one of the other housewives during production and let that become the storyline. if Kiki wanted to be a part of it. I don't believe Kiki is lying. I believe Katie is lying because that's the alternative truth, right? There's this big conspiracy theory that involves all these people and all these producers and all these things. Or there's a very simple truth that's Katie is lying. Katie was just on Biofiles. She said she'll die on this hill that she did not tell Katie this story, or she did not tell Kiki the story. Katie said she'll die on this hill that she did not tell Kiki the story. So what? Gwen says, yep, and Tamara brought it up, and now she's friends with Katie to look good. Exactly. I know that because Tamara has told people that. I feel bad for Gina being hot. So this is why, because then when you ask, well, why would you believe Kiki over Katie when they're all kind of proven to be liars? I mean, they've all, yes, told half-truths, misrepresented something, were dishonest in something, Kiki included, right? Like Kiki told Katie that this conversation was off the record, and then she shared that information. Granted, she didn't publish that information. She just told two other people that happened to both go to Tamara and tell her that information. Is that a lie necessarily? No, because when something's off the record, it just means it's not going to be shared publicly, right? And Kiki did not publish this publicly, nor did Jacques, nor did Dave. They told Tamara, and Tamara is the person that ran this information publicly. Tamara's the one that brought it up on the show. Now, the reason I'm choosing to not believe Katie is because we've seen Katie lie a number of times. She has a very complicated relationship with the truth, so much so even the Alexis Bellino thing with the video of Shannon. Katie's like, I didn't show Shannon. And now suddenly she's like, she said she didn't show Alexis the video of Shannon. And Alexis is like, that's a lie. And then now Katie's like, well, yeah, I did show Alexis. And it's like, well, why? Like these simple things that she continues to lie about. Because you can say, oh, well, Gretchen also lied about not going to the hospital. True. Very true. But there's more of those instances with Katie than there is with Gretchen, right? And again, in order for Katie's theory to stick, it would have to be this whole big tangled web with all these people that all were deliberately trying to collude against Katie. I don't believe that's the case. Katie is not that significant. She's not. If this was a deliberate takedown of Tamara Judge because the cast was tired of her and they all wanted that, to me is more believable because Tamara Judge is more of an important figure and presence on the show. Katie being like, I embarrassed all of them, so that's why they don't like me. I'm like, but you're not really that much of a threat, to be honest. Like, sorry, you're a nice woman. You seem nice, but yeah. And you also have to remember, Katie not only hired her own crisis PR team, but was planting these seeds of these women being racist or racially insensitive. To me, that's dangerous. When you're going out there and you're trying to throw people under the bus and claim that they're racially insensitive or whatever, that to me is dangerous. And that makes me less trustworthy of you, right? I think it was Slade in the big trying to produce. Possibly. I think, Slade is thirsty too. He's a nice guy, but I mean, I think he's shown enough of his behavior that show he's kind of thirsty. I'm not defending Slade. I'm not really. The only person I will defend in this is Kiki in saying that she is not lying. I believe that. Everybody else is messy. Everybody else has half truths that they've told. Like it's all very complicated and very convoluted. But I will stand here. And if I'm wrong in the end, I'm wrong in the end. But I will stand here and I will say, I believe Kiki fully, wholeheartedly. I think she's telling the truth. Did I like that she shared this information with other people? No, that was messy. But I believe that Katie is lying about their conversation. I don't believe it was a malicious conversation that the two of them had. I think a lot of this was like innocuous and it kind of got spread. I think Jacques was a little messy and telling Tamara. But it just kind of unfolded. But it blew up when Tamara Judge brought it on the show. And I believe it was intentional to come after Gretchen. But I don't leave the Scheana piece out of it. The Scheana piece is so stupid. I don't think Scheana told. But also, did Scheana say that she knew this story about Naked Wasted? Because if Scheana didn't know this story and Sheena's very close to Gretchen, then I don't know. That kind of tells that maybe this is. And I was also disappointed in Teddy. I know she's friends with Tamara, but for her to continue to perpetuate this Scheana thing to me is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And now makes me kind of question Teddy and, her integrity when it came to the whole Lisa Vanderpump Puppygate thing. I don't know. Okay. I think this is where I leave you. I love you guys. I I appreciate you. Donna Boland's going to be going live in a minute, so be sure to check out Daily Dose of Donna. But that's my Blake and Ryan stuff. That's my Housewives stuff. All the fun things. All the fun things. All right, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Kiki shared the Asian designer story, which was still off the record. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good weekend. I'll be live again tomorrow because I know we missed an episode on Monday. So we'll have a catch-up episode tomorrow. But be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. I love you. I appreciate you. I will be sure to catch you tomorrow. So ciao for now. Bye, guys. Bye, 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 bye.